Here are a few final tips. As I'm sure you've guessed, you're shortly going to be asked to memorise the words at the bottom of the screen. They seem pretty random, and maybe they are. But the place you're going to choose isn't random. It's a place you know really well, and that you can easily imagine yourself walking through. When you make your mental images, make them weird, make them vivid. Don't be polite, don't be careful. This is a secret, you don't need to tell anyone what they are. Make it something you'll remember and focus on every sense. Imagine it in detail. When I was imagining that zombie bursting from the coat rack, I could see the flesh on its face. When I walked down the hall and the Beatles were playing there, I could tell you in a flash that it was about 1972. I knew what kind of beards they had. If your images aren't detailed, you haven't imagined them at all. Finally, a couple of words on extending your memory palace. If you're going to use this method, one walk will eventually run out. Now, there's probably a few journeys that you know pretty well. Walking through your home, walking through your school, a different house if you've lived in one, a local shop. But a memory palace ultimately only exists in your mind. So it's fine to link locations. What if outside of the window of your bedroom, open it, climb out, was that fairground you went to once? That doesn't make a lot of sense, but if you can imagine walking through that fairground, then once you've linked those two places, you can just keep walking through the memory palace. It takes a bit of setup, but there's no limit to how big the palace can be, and that's why it's called a palace. It's a castle, it's enormous. And these great orators were walking through enormous halls of memory. There's no reason that you can't do the same. Now, keep working on memorizing those words. They are given to you below as well. But most of all, make sure that you're being honest with yourself about whether or not you're really visualizing what you're seeing. If you can't answer a question like, what shape is the fault line? How big is the bone angel? Then you're not really imagining it. But if you are, you're creating images that you just won't forget.